Welcome, dear audience, to the fourth episode of Symbicare Dialogues, this time on Kanuni Swasthya, or Law as the Enabler in Women's Well-being and Empowerment from the point of view of Nari Swasthya and Nari Shakti. Today, I am Dr. Shashikala Gurpur, Director of Symbiosis Law School, Pune, and Dean Faculty of Law, hosting this dialogue with eminent woman personality, Dr. Kiran Bedi, the very first IPS officer woman of India, who has recently been the governor of the state of Pondicherry. In today's episode, we will be visiting the issues of law and justice, wellness, the law as an enabler in ensuring women's wellness and well-being, and in ensuring safety as a related issue with the tripod of rights, equality, and justice. It reminds me of a story that I dealt with a few years ago. One of my friends told me that there was a domestic worker in her neighbor's house who used to be cleaning the house, and the man of the house used to leer at her. And she was feeling uncomfortable. And one day she told him that when the lady is out of the house, why do you start behaving abnormally? You know what he said? He said that if you try to play with me by complaining against me to my wife or to anyone, I will see that there is a complaint issued against you on theft. It is at this juncture that I would like to share with you all the very idea of World Health Organization's idea of well-being had four key indicators in terms of women's health. One is how much we exclusively focus on reproductive role of the women rather than looking at women as beings, as full human beings, complete beings with rights, with responsibility, with duties, and with privileges. Power inequality, as I gave you the story of this lady, where she either has a choice of leaving that job or she has the other bad choice of staying in the job and putting up with the harassment. So this kind of dimension. And then if she goes and tells any household, first of all, will they believe that she is going through this? Because the social norm believes that woman always makes these kinds of complaints and she's avoiding work kind of thing. Now, there are many disadvantages because of women's socioeconomic disadvantage, which makes her vulnerable to diseases as well. One in every three women, married women, faces physical, sexual, and emotional violence. 6.1% of these women face sexual violence. And because of the fear of retaliation, family honor, prolonged judicial process, with limited access to police station, lack of trust in the system, economic dependence on the family, and in the rural areas in particular, lack of proper legal aid or counseling or survivor support, it forces them to stay on in such relationships or in such a context. Whereas in urban areas, we have other problems such as online harassment through the online obscenity. How should the law address this in general? So over to you, Dr. Bede.
Thank you, Dr. Gurpur, and thank you, Dr. Rajiv, for inviting me to this very prestigious conversation. Let me tell you, first of all, come straight to the point of women and children-centric changes under the law. You can ignore the ones for children, but at the moment, women-centric. Number one provision. Let me tell you the new provision. These are some of the new provisions. First of all is deceitful sexual intercourse. Somewhere when the men indulge in deceitful intercourse, saying, we will get married, or I'll get your house, or for some this kind, this is deceitful sexual intercourse. This is punishable under Section 69 of the new BNS Act, the Bharati Sangata. Number one. So this is a direct offense. This is for working middle class women, which is basically a working middle class issue.
If I may connect to the reality that I came across once in our legal aid camp, that person got a girl pregnant by promising that he will marry her. And then he said he never promised and he doesn't know who she has been with. So could this be coming under this kind of a section?
It fully comes under this section. because there's been a deceit. He cannot claim he does not know. Well, the forensics will prove it. Genetics will be proven by forensics. So she can claim under the law and the genetics will prove it. Uska bhi sample le lenge, blood samples, and iska bhi le lenge. Aur pata chal jayega. So please know that whenever, if it's a case of cheating, earlier it was 420. Earlier it was 420. Cheating. 420. Ye
So
420
everything
nahi.
came under that. It was an
And
umbrella provision, whereas
it was
this
an
is specifically
This
taking
is
into
a new
consideration women's vulnerability.
Secondly is, under section 176(1), it provides procedure for investigation. Now let me explain to you. To provide more protection to victim and enforce transparency in investigation related to offense rape, the statement of the victim shall be recorded through audio video means by the police. Shall, not may. So your statement, if you fall a victim of such a situation, even otherwise, the one of the sexual intercourse, it can be recorded, and that will help the courts.
Most of the time, women go through this stigma. They go through this perplexity that if I talk openly, would I be considered as a woman who is shameless? So psychological and emotional barriers that women have. So how do the police tackle such situation? One is that they provide for compulsory women constables and women inspectors these days in the police station. Other than that, how do they overcome the survivor or victim women overcome such barriers?
If the woman wants protection, she has to have the courage to do that.
Exactly.
If you continue to be afraid and shy and wondering, then you will not get justice. Haven't you seen the way Sengar's case, the MLA, UP Legislative Assembly? What has happened? That young woman, she's below 16. She took on elected MLA who was in power in that constituency and who had a Gunda Raj. If a woman under 16 and not very rich, literally a poor woman, but this woman stood strong, continued to suffer but strong. Here answer is, if you cannot have the courage, how will you? And because she stood strong, the country stood with her. Because she stood strong, Supreme Court has overdone the Delhi High Court judgment. So if you don't have the courage, then who's going to give you the courage? You have to have the courage. But if you're not alone, get somebody NGO behind you, some people behind you, somebody behind you, family certainly behind you. So you will, if you seek help, help will come. But if you don't seek help, then how will you? You just suffer alone. Then don't blame anybody. So even if you're a victim, it is not your fault you fell a victim or you fell somewhere, got sucked in. But ask for help. So you will get it. Now comes, why am I saying video? So ask them. When the police comes, ask for a video recording. मेरा वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करो ताकि कोई भी बदल नहीं, इसने ये नहीं बोला, इसने ये नहीं बोला, इसने she did say this, she did say that. No, वीडियो है ना. And जो recall उस वक्त होगा, the recall which comes at that time is unmatchable. Yes. Right? And it's credible because it's in time. It's like an FIR. FIR recorded after 15 days or 10 days, and FIR recorded right now, that means manipulation is ruled out.
Yes.
So this way, ask for your statement. Now, even if you are not a victim, but you complained, ask for a recording or give a recording. Or give a recording saying here, and you have the camera right in your iPhone. Usi mein record karo. Just put it in. I have come here to the police station at such and such time. So and so officer is coming, sitting right here. I am doing this recording, and this is what my statement is. This. So next is recording of your confessions and statements. This is section 183(6)(a) provision of the BNS. Statements of victim are to be recorded as far as practical by a woman magistrate, but in her absence, a male magistrate in the presence of a woman. That's the point. So you can always insist, I will do everything in the presence of another woman. So this is your right now under this section. Now, the magistrate then shall record the statement of a witness. Magistrate now records a statement of witness in certain offenses against women that are, anyway. Now it's a magistrate recording. Magistrate, not the police. Magistrate is more trusted than a police officer.
Yeah.
That's the reason. And then magistrate is a witness for you.
Yeah.
And magistrate will be trusted much more. Unless your magistrate is your brother.
Who becomes interested witness.
Yeah.
But then in dowry death cases, they have allowed brothers witnesses or family witnesses as well.
Because dowry is
Because
a
the
different issue. Dowry is a different issue. It's sometimes within the family, sometimes the boundaries of the house. Then who else is the witness? You don't have outsiders in the house. Unless you have a guest coming, there's only family members.
We've had a case from Bombay where Justice Suresh Hosbettu allowed the evidence of a neighbor social worker who took the dying declaration of the woman who was immolated in the dowry violence. So this kind of a third party witness who is not at all related but was present there, who was taking the dying declaration, which is the ultimate evidence in law, could be valid, right?
100% valid. It's circumstantial. It all depends where the victim is. And is she on the bed and only that woman is present? Or even anybody who's there and she's dying and she makes a dying declaration to anybody, even somebody who's a sanitary worker who's there, कि मेरी बात सुन लो. That is also admissible. So every
That's
time you
great.
can't have a magistrate. The dying declaration can be recorded by anybody who was there next to her at that time.
Wonderful, Dr. Bedi. This is such a valuable piece of information in terms of defending such cases.
Yeah.
We in Symbiosis Law School, we run a legal aid clinic, and once we helped a rape survivor girl who had to be finally taken to the trauma center of Indian Army Hospital in order to redeem her from the trauma that she had been through by a familiar person who was a bus conductor of the school. And thereafter, she was not admitted to any school, and then we had to intervene. So this is the kind of work that Symbiosis does as part of its social or institutional social responsibility. We also held a prisoners health camp, and where we, with the help of Symbiosis Center for Healthcare, we were able to do the healthcare checkup of 300 plus women prisoners, and we were able to come out with long-term remedies for the illnesses till the prison was able to replace this with a structured government approach. So we also thought of a legal care point in the mental hospital, where again we see that gendered nature of the society and the economic disempowerment of these women leads to serious issues of rights violation. So, being a police officer, you also would have been part of the Legal Aid Services Committee. So, how do you think the access to justice be ensured for such women who are not able to afford a proper lawyer for themselves?
You need an NGO help. Either you have the confidence to go across.
Right.
If you have the confidence to go across to their officer for legal aid, go. You have to come. If you're not, take along your family. If the family does not come, take another NGO. If you have the courage to go, go yourself. If you have the family, go for the family. And put in a written application saying you want legal aid. Or go to an NGO which helps you. Either ask for help or go yourself. Help yourself. So unless you help yourself or go for help, will somebody come to your room to say, do you need help? Somebody will not come to you, do you need help? Either you say, I need help. So put up a board, I need help. Somebody should say, no, I need help.
Yeah.
So you have to say, I need help. What help? I need legal aid help. Please help me. So say, क्या हो रहा? पूछ क्या पूछ रहे? वो है ना दफ्तर जाओ. So they'll go to the office. And there I need help. Because I have no means to hire a lawyer. I need help. And they have to provide it. And they have to pay for it. The government then pays for you. And you don't have to pay any fee to that lawyer. He cannot ask you for a fee. And if it does not perform, go back to the legal aid cell. See, unless you pursue your matter, how will you get the help?
So, when you were working through an NGO or your kachari, how did you tackle such issues? Did you tackle any rape survivor? Did you tackle any dowry violence survivor? How exactly you have overcome these challenges to such safety issues of women?
Rape survivor needs proper investigation, proper prosecution, and also social support. She needs three things. Investigation to be done on the right lines. like using now technology and not calling witnesses again and again. Even witnesses can be taken on record on the video and displayed in the court and left to the court whom they want to call or not. So use more and more of technology. And under 16 and above 60 cannot be called to the police station for witness. Police has to come to you to record your statement. Is try and encourage the use of technology as much as possible. As far as I'm concerned, a rape victim needs legal support, prosecution court support, and family support, or an NGO support, means community support. So unless you do this, how will she stand back again? Now, in this case, Sangar's case, she herself has stood, and her family has stood, and some individual volunteers have stood by. Though the prosecution has not been strong. Investigation was very dicey because he was a man in power. So the other man has money power, muscle power, lung power, or official power, and he overawes you. You need to balance it by fighting back also as social support.
The next question I have you is about how has medical examination process improved in case of heinous offenses such as rape, and how does zero FIR concept come into help in these cases?
Both are independent of each other. Let me come back, since you were talking about the rape victim. The report by the doctor must be submitted within 7 days by law. Here, the law says this. But then 7 days. This is provision 179(1), where report must be submitted within 10 days. So it's now not unlimited time. Second part was zero FIR. You may be in Pune, but your offense was committed in Delhi. Can the police station say, wo to Delhi jao? Offense to Delhi mein hua? No. They have to record a zero FIR and inform the police station in Delhi. That's it. Then Delhi. But FIR will be recorded. And this is provision 173(1) of the BNS Act, that filing of the zero has been introduced. Earlier, it was a selective practice. Now it's by law. Ye nahi hai ki I will not record your FIR, record zero FIR. And then transfer it, inform the concerned police station of that city. Right? It requires, that ensures quicker reporting, and particularly in cases of domestic violence and sexual assault, where you may have to come back to your parents' home.
Your mother's place, yeah.
Yeah, mother. So your mother's place is Pune, and your violence took place in Delhi. So does it mean that you have to come back to Delhi? No. Record at zero FIR in Pune.
The attention to some of the recent most progressive kind of approaches by some of the state governments on the policy on menstrual leave.
So why bracket everybody together and let the woman ask for medical leave? Why should she not use medical leave when she has a menstrual issue? Menstrual leave is your medical leave. Ask for it and get it. You will get it and you're entitled for it. But everybody need not be in the same bracket. That's my view.
What would be your one-line takeaway for the audience who are watching this podcast?
According to the gravity of the situation, if it has offended you, even a touch on the back, if it has offended you, please report. Question is report. I'm saying report, not complain, report. Report and record.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bedi, for all of your experience, wisdom, and your daring, which is shared here, in addition to the safety mechanisms which are going to ensure the well-being of women, which has huge implication for physical, mental, social, and economic well-being of women, as highlighted by the United Nations. Every woman should have a legal checklist that, do I know all my rights as a woman, from the cradle to the grave? Have I kept my healthcare needs correctly? Have I addressed them? And have I asserted my right, as I have done too many of duties for my family? So this is the first dimension. So my right to evolve as a complete human being, as the speaker of today's podcast, our guest, was standing as an example of. All dear women, embrace holistic well-being, say no to any threat to well-being, and women's well-being is the only one that can transform this nation and society. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.